Hey everybody, things are going pretty good here. I've got 198 subscribers, so two more to another milestone, the 200 mark. At 500, I believe you get to start monetizing it. So that means that if you've seen any commercials before or during my videos, yeah, I didn't get anything for it. Although I did, I guess like these videos get free hosting, so I don't have to pay to host them. So that's something faux show. Anyways, last video I said I was going to sort of clean up the code and I was like, okay, what one of my favorite ways to clean up the code is like kind of start at the very bottom and then read things and see if they make sense. And so I looked at this and I was like, get validation for token, and I just passed it in the token. I was like, uh-oh, I forgot to do the part where I pass in the token. So as is, there's this whole common component would only be able to show one error. So we need to make that an input. And there are two kinds of inputs. There used to only be one kind. There are two kinds of inputs. One of them is I don't know exactly what it. I don't know what you'd call it. At first, I thought it was like zone related or something like that, but um, it's not. It's I don't know, but the other one is signals, built out in signals. Um, and I believe one of them you use something called a decorator, and one of them you just use a function. And the signals one you just use a function. So I think it is easier to understand. I'm pretty sure I'm using it in other places in this code. So basically, what I'm looking for is like see how this doesn't import input. Let's go to the mesh manager. Let's see if we can find one that imports input. Input. Nope. I guess I should just look for the word input. Yeah, so animation. So unfortunately it's if it's a template, and then that's a comment. Here we go. TypeScript. Yes. No. No, unfortunately I named this thing input. Mm. There we go. Valid. Oh, that's this one that I'm looking at. Well, I'm having some mood swings here. Um, oh, I guess I don't ever use it. Um, Angular input signal. That's a good one. Inputs as a signal. Yeah. So all you do is call it as a you import it here and you call it as a function. I would have asked ChatGPT, but it gets a little weird on questions like that. Um, I think it's weird because it's a new concept and it sort of overlaps with an old concept. But let's go over here and oh, one of the things about input is you can make it required. So let's say token, and then add input, and then let's see if they show how to make it required. Oh yeah, you put a comma. Um, I'm just gonna say like this, and that's kind of cool that you can alias it with a different name. Um, Let me do Control F. Required. Okay, yeah, I remember that was nice. It's kind of weird that in one case you um, kind of give it configuration via uh, a JSON object, and then in other cases you do it like this. You call I guess a function, a sub function or something. I don't really understand this. I don't know that. I suspect what's happening is behind the scenes they are transpiling this into more stuff. Okay, so it looks like you have to use effect with it. So, and then we have to have a constructor. And then we call effect and we give it a function. I don't know what the right way to call this kind of function is. I've always heard it called a fat arrow concept, but it's like I wonder if I even need this because I'm just using it directly in the template. So I wonder if I can just say let me control. Oh, here we go. Okay, so yeah, in the template you have to call it as a function. So basically, let's say that should break. Oop, cancel. That should break the compile or cause the compiler to throw an error. And then we're going to call this token. Let's see, what's the problem? Did I not? Oh, very cool. So this is supposed to be validation types. Okay. So that went away. Let's see. Control S. Control S. Okay, so now it's upset because in my implementation, I don't have the token set. So I think I say token. I can say token is equal to, and then it's invalid positive float. And let's see what we get. Oh yeah, baby. So yeah, sometimes things work out. That's nice. Let's see, where are we at on time? 7:53. That's pretty good. All right, so now I told you in my last video the next thing I was going to do was sort of clean it up. I do think that this reads real nice. Real nice. I love how this reads, right? It's like UI validation service get validation text for token, and I give it a token. I like it. I like how that reads. I think that reads like one sentence. Like in English, it would be like inside the UI validation service, there is a function called get validation for text, and that text, and I am going to pass it a token. And now I can look over in my TypeScript, just take another step up, and I can say, oh, the token gets passed in from the whatever is calling this function. Totally makes sense. I think we're good on that. So then we can go over here into our component and we can say token is equal to invalid positive float. I think that's okay. I mean, it would be nice if this was like a little tighter, you know, like had a little bit more like support. It does have some pretty decent support because because if I were to change this, right, it would break. It would be like that's not a invalid positive float. So I think that's okay. It's not bad. It's not great. It doesn't feel good, but it's not too bad. And then let's see what we've done in here. Yeah, it's hard to figure out. But anyways, let's see. I guess we can look over here in the scene manager component. And then let's just bring this out to 100%. So we bring in our validation types. I like that, the sound of that. Validation error message component. I like the sounds of that. I mean, it's very clear what this does. It's very clear what that does, what that line of code does. Validation token is a validation type, and it gets the validation token for path, and the path is seen in fog density. I think that's all right. This is a bit awkward, but you know, it's not too bad. And then validation function is go to the UI validation function and get the validator for token. I think that's clean. I think that's super clean. And then if you get something other than nullback, then go ahead and put that function there. Where are we? We are at 10 minutes and 47 seconds. So starting, so basically, I think that, so basically, I guess what we'll do is next time we'll do this in a more reasonable, we'll go over the code in a more reasonable way. I do think that there are a few problems here, which I did sort of mention in the last one. Definitely, oh, that's not the right. No, I don't know about this one. We didn't even look at this one. I do think that there are some issues that I had noticed in this validation service that we'll need to do. I don't think that validation dictionary is well named and stuff like that. And this probably should come from something up here. But anyways, I think 11:36 is a pretty gosh darn good length of video. Happy coding, everybody. Bye.